Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in here to my YouTube channel. And what I'm going to show you today is how to use an Apple Powerbook G4 in 2016. That's right. I am using a computer that was made in 2004 in 2016. This is a Powerbook G4 12-inch model. Let's just go to the About This Mac and you can see it's the 1.33 gigahertz PowerPC that's the maximum amount of RAM that this computer could have. And, that's not super fast. But if you think about it, there's plenty of netbooks and Chromebooks and things out there that are about these specs. Maybe they have 2 gigs of RAM. But, not too much more powerful than this. So you can run this computer in 2016. And I'll show you I'm going to show you a couple of tips and tricks as to how to do that and get around in the World Wide Web and all that good stuff and how to listen to music. One of the things I'm going to do here, first to get started off, because I haven't done it yet, is, well, first, before we do anything, I just want to talk about the OS that I'm using, which is 10.4.11, which is Tiger, Mac OS Tiger. This was the highest updated version of Tiger that came out. And the reason why I'm using this as opposed to Leopard, which is 10.5, true, Leopard does have some more compatibility to some programs than Tiger does, but it just doesn't run as good. Tiger is by far the best operating system that you're going to run on a G4. I've tried Leopard I have a couple of G4s, and I've tried it on all of them. And Tiger just blows them away in performance all the way. So just go with Tiger. There's a lot of stuff you can still do with Tiger. Your computer will run better. You don't have to disable Spotlight in Tiger. It's fast. The dock is fast. Nothing's laggy. It's just good. So anyway, use Tiger if you are unsure of what to use. At least that's what I suggest. I mean, you could try Leopard. If you have a G5, you could probably use Leopard. But with the G4, I would use Tiger. Anyway, so what I'm going to do here, when you install Tiger, the iTunes that comes with it is actually iTunes version 4. But the last one that will work, at least I'm pretty sure, I haven't actually installed this yet, but I think it does. The last one that will work is 9.2.1. So let's go ahead and install this. And walk through all the agree screens, which I'm sure you know. Let's go ahead and install that. Oh, have iTunes running. Okay, installing. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering how I'm actually recording this screen capture software, there's a program called, what is it called? Sorry, my memory isn't so great right now. Oh, it's Snaps Pro. And this program you can download. There's a demo. The new version won't run, obviously, but there's an older version that will run perfectly on Tiger, and it's still available on their website. So just Google that, Snaps Pro with a Z, and you should be able to find it if you want to do some screen captures. Okay, iTunes was successfully installed. Let's eject this crap. Also, before you do any of that, in case you're wondering what the link is for iTunes 9.2.1, it is this. It is support.apple.com/kbdl1056 $locale equals English-US. You could probably leave this last part out. It'll probably auto-populate that. So yeah, you can go there and download iTunes 9.2.1. One thing I was going to show you, I don't really want to show you my Gmail inbox again. You already got a quick view of that. But one thing you can do for Gmail, and since we're here, I might as well just touch on this. I'm going to close this tab and I'll show you real quick. If you just put in Gmail, when this is loading, just click the Load Basic HTML link down here. You can set this to default too, but this will bring up a much quicker version of Gmail for your Powerbook. So let's get out of there. Let's open up iTunes now. It's going to tell us, make us agree to more terms and conditions. And I don't have a lot of music on here just yet, just because I just did a reinstall of Tiger. Like I said before, I was doing Leopard for a little while, and I just went back to Tiger. So yeah, the store will load. I'm pretty sure it'll load. I'm not sure if you can actually buy music through the store in iTunes 9. You might be able to. I haven't actually tried that. I should. That'd be a good test, though. But you can load the store and search for podcasts and all of that. So let's just do that right now. Let's go into podcasts. And it's still loading. It's a little bit slow, but how do you search for podcasts? Let's just go to new releases for now. Well, I believe you can just search the podcast or the regular search bar for podcasts. So let's just try my podcasts. And it should pop up here. My horribly not updated podcast that I haven't done the episodes on for a long time, which I really should, but just haven't had the time. But yeah, so there it is. Let's go ahead and subscribe to myself. Can I do that? Yeah, here we go. Subscribe for free. Alright, so subscribing to podcasts does work. We have confirmed that. And there I am. Then, of course, you can listen to your music library and all of that. I don't really have anything in here yet, just some unknown artists and unknown albums. It's just some of the music I recorded. Okay, so now we got done with iTunes. What else can you do? Well, if you want to browse the World Wide Web, you are absolutely going to need tenfourfox. And the easiest way to find that is just type it into Google. Oops. And what tenfourfox is, basically it's a modern version of Firefox reported to work on Mac PowerPC computers. And it works rather well. It will run pretty much every modern website. You can do online banking. You can, it's not super fast, some websites, because, they're running like a ton of JavaScript and all kinds of crap on there. But it's not that bad either. I mean, I would compare it to maybe, kind of a mediocre netbook. It's not super great, but it's going to get you around and allow you to do things that normal people do on the internet. So tenfourfox is your friend. Download that. The website address is floodgap.com/software/tenfourfox. So you can go there and download that. Another thing you'll want to do if you want to go to YouTube and watch videos there you are most likely going to want the adblock Pro extension, because one of the things that makes YouTube very, very slow on a Powerbook is the ads. Videos will play. They're not going to play in HD. I always love the stuff that YouTube suggests for my videos. But they're not going to play in HD, but they will play at about 480p just fine. Sometimes you have to let them load a little bit before they'll play very smoothly, and plus this may be getting slowed down even more since I'm recording my screen. Let's go ahead and check this out. See, one of the big things with YouTube videos in tenfourfox, let me just pause it before it starts playing, because what will make it glitchy, for one, it's when it's actually loading here, but also when these side links are loading will make it kind of laggy and not play so well. Okay, back where we left off here, about the QuickTime enabler. It was that the screen capture software was running for a while, and so it just bogged down the computer. Once I quit that, it sped back up again. So anyway, the QuickTime enabler is pretty cool. It will allow you to play YouTube videos within QuickTime. And so to do that, you just go to this page here. The easiest way to find it that I always do is just Google tenfourfox QuickTime enabler, and you'll find it. This has the download link as well as a link to Purion. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, right here. This is basically a bunch of codecs that will help you play a lot of different videos on YouTube. So you want to download that and install it first. Let's just click that so you can see what I'm talking about. And it actually has been discontinued, but it is still available to download. So just go to this link and you can see it here. Download Purion now. Sorry, scrolling isn't that smooth while this is recording either. But speaking of scrolling, once you get all this set up, if you want to do it, you may not even want to do it. I mean, sometimes I will watch videos in the QuickTime enabler, but other times I'll just watch them on YouTube's site. With AdBlock Plus installed, it's really not that bad if you just load it for like a minute or two. It plays just fine. But it's up to you. If you want like very smooth playback, then you can use the QuickTime enabler, and also it allows you to save videos, which is pretty cool, which you can't do in YouTube, obviously. So you can actually save them to your hard drive and watch them offline later. So that's a nice feature of the QuickTime enabler. So anyway, speaking of scrolling, another thing I should show you, because Tiger and Powerbooks didn't come with a 2-finger scroll by default, but you can use this handy little extension here called iScroll2, and this you can install in Tiger, and it will allow you to use 2-finger scrolling and gestures on your standard Powerbook touchpad. I believe it should work on an iBook as well. I'm not sure, but I don't see why it wouldn't, unless they have a different touchpad on there. But the vertical scrolling, you can actually invert direction, like on a modern MacBook, if you like to do that. I have mine enabled right now. You can do horizontal scrolling if you like, circular scrolling as well. Clicking, you can do primary mouse button. You can do a 2-finger click. That doesn't seem to work on mine. So maybe that just doesn't work on Powerbooks. And then if you don't want to do it anymore, you can uninstall it right here from the extension options. But it's a really great thing. I don't see why you wouldn't want it. It's really nice to be able to scroll with 2 fingers. What else can we talk about? Many things you can still do on these. There's a lot of software that if you hunt it down, it will work. You can run iMovie, GarageBand. These, of course, are all older versions. You can also use Pro Tools. I have Pro Tools LE 7.4 on here, which is the last version that would run on this system. But you do need DigiDesign hardware to do that, to run that. I have an Mbox, the first one, which you can pick those up for very cheap online. A lot of times you can get Pro Tools with them. You can download Pro Tools still. You would have to find a serial for that. I'm not condoning piracy, but if you have the hardware, I think it's pretty legitimate that you could try to get a serial number for that to make it work. Another thing that will run is Final Cut Pro 5, which I have. You can also You probably could run 6. I'm not sure about that though. I don't know what the last one that ran on Tiger was, but let's just go ahead and open this up so you can take a look. I'll close my browser. And here we are, Final Cut Pro. And that's probably what I'll edit this video in as well, the one that I'm making right this moment while I'm recording this. But Final Cut Pro 5 works great on a Powerbook. You can still do plenty of things. You can find there are some plugins you can find online, and the default plugins that it comes with are great. I mean, there's a lot of that stuff. Now, this is commercial Apple software, and it is out there floating around online. You can find it. You just have to do a little bit of digging through the internet to find Final Cut Pro 5. Again, not condoning piracy, but you know, this is an outdated computer, and I don't think it's we're not hurting anybody's business by trying to make these old computers work. I think it's just a cool thing. And actually, I really honestly think that Apple and companies like that should release all this old software to the public domain, but that's my opinion. But you can find it, so that's enough of that. I'll just leave it at that. You can find it, just look. So it's out there, and but you can do a lot of cool stuff. You can edit videos in place factors. The key to editing in Final Cut Pro, as opposed to something like Sony Vegas or a newer type of editing software, you actually have to set up your project file. Like I have your sequence rather. When you go into the sequence here and you go into settings, you'll see I have this set at NTSC, and it's basically DV Pro NTSC format is what I'm using. So the key to make this work smoothly to where you're not rendering everything every 2 seconds is to convert all of your videos to NTSC DV or whatever format you are working in before you actually start editing them. I wouldn't recommend trying to do, edit HD video on a G4. It's probably not going to work so well. However, you can edit in a lower resolution and then export the final project to HD. Now, of course, this isn't going to be true HD, but it's going to look better, say, if you do that and upload it to YouTube. Even if I finish this video in 640 by 480, if I export it at a higher resolution when I upload it to YouTube, the compression will be at a better rate, and so it'll still be a higher quality than if I were to upload the 640 by 480 right to YouTube. It's just some technical ways that YouTube actually functions. Now, I'm not going to get super into Final Cut Pro here. I just wanted to show you that it is functioning, and you can still do a lot of cool editing with it. And iMovie as well. If you want something a little simpler, you can just... Why did I hit cancel? iMovie works perfectly. Now, iMovie, you have to get... It did not come with Tiger. And this is, again, another one that you have to kind of go out there and look for. I believe I have iMovie 04 on here. I think so. Let me double check. Let's just do a test project. Let's go to About iMovie. Yeah, I have iMovie 4. So in order to get that, this is basically the one that was made to work with this computer. I think you could run higher than that. You could probably get up to like iMovie 9 or something like that if you wanted to on Tiger. But for me, I don't use iMovie all that much. But I do use it from time to time if I would do something simple, and iMovie 4 works fine for me. A lot of people, when they try to use these old iMovies, they'll notice there's no way to do HD video in the older version of iMovie, and that is true. But what you can do is if you import an HD video and it kind of squishes the video into 4:3 ratio. Whenever you go to make the export the actual project, well, I have to have one in here, but there is a way where you can export it to HD, or at least have the 16:9 ratio when you go to export the video. So you can kind of get around the 4:3 aspect ratio limitation in iMovie 4 just by the way you export things and import them. Like if you import a 16:9 video into iMovie, it'll squish it, and then if you export it as 16:9, it'll make it wide again, basically, and it'll look normal. There's little tricks like that you can figure out, and iMovie is nice because it's fast and it's super easy. Another thing, what else do we have in here? There's a lot of good stuff. GraphFX 2 is a cool, this is a really cool like Amiga Paint type program, and that works really good if you're into like painting and stuff like that, although it doesn't seem to want to work too well with my screen capture software, so let's get out of here. As well as if you're into Amiga stuff, there's also Amiga Pro Tracker. Oops. That will run natively on PowerPC. Just one more thing I forgot to mention is one thing that you should definitely do is disable dashboard in Tiger. Dashboard is that little thing that is always running in your dock that, you know, basically has all those useless widgets that, you know, I've never used any of them. So basically they just run all the time and use RAM and resources on the computer. So it's very easy to disable. All you need to do, I'll post a link in the description. All you need to do is just open up a terminal and copy and paste this in here, and then just restart the dock with kill all dock. But yeah, it's very simple. So I already did it on mine. We can look though, just go into terminal. Oops, can't spell apparently. Open up terminal. And then you just, just copy and paste this. That's all. You just hit enter and then copy and paste kill all dock, or you can just type it and put it in there, and then it'll basically just turn off the dashboard. And then if you ever for some reason want to turn it back on, you can just use this defaults right com.apple.dashboard mcx-disabled -boolean no, and it'll re-enable dashboard. But I don't know why you'd ever want to. But anyway, that's just another thing I wanted to show you that I forgot to mention. And one other thing, just to help speed up the system a little bit, if you go into your dock settings here, just turn off your magnification and uncheck animate opening applications, and that will speed things up as well. Because animate opening applications, that is when you click on something, you get that bouncing icon, and believe it or not, that does take up quite a bit of computing power, so it's just such a silly thing. Just turn it off. And if you click on one now, you just see the only difference is now you just have a flashing arrow underneath, and that's fine with me as long as you know it's starting. Then that works for me. So anyway, that's all I wanted to add to that video. Thanks again for watching. Please subscribe, click like, blah blah blah. Bye.